Welcome back to FURYCAST. But first, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and of course, smash the bell for notifications. And don't forget to sign up to the mailing list for my new graphic novel, The Gentleman's Guild. Sign up now. The link is in the description. My guest today grew up in beautiful San Diego, California, where he was one of the original members of the legendary record label, Syntax Records. In that time, he released 2 classic albums, 10 Horn Daggers and Love and War. He's now the head of his own label called War Records. Today on FURYCAST, I welcome my friend, Man of War. Take me back, give me your origin story. Tell me where you grew up and what that was like.
Well, grew up in Southeast San Diego. San Diego's, man, is a lovely place. Unfortunately, there are some ghetto parts, and grew up in Southeast. So grew up in the hood. It was kind of a unique environment because it was hood, but yet it was still, I mean, it was part of my upbringing, man. It kind of created some of the character that I am still today. Grew up in a good home, mom and pops, heavily involved in church, and had a brother, 2 sisters. I was the youngest. My brother was 6 years older than me. So just grew up in Southeast San Diego, man. It was cool. It was good. It was a little hood, gangs back then, man. There was a lot of gangs, a lot of gang banging, drive-by shootings, people getting jumped, stuff like that. So that's where I grew up in Southeast San Diego, and kind of, the persona, just my characteristics, of upbringing, just being raw, straight up, what you say is what you mean, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I grew up in Southeast San Diego.
Now, did you have your mom and dad were both in the home, or what was that?
Yep. Mom and dad were both in the home. Even though we lived in the hood, it was a good Christian home, bro. So good mom, good dad. No weird stories or situations there. And as I got older, I understood, like, my parents had us live in the hood because it was a cheaper place. My mom took care of us. She stayed home, so it wasn't like we went to daycare and stuff like that. So we were, raised by our mom, which was really cool. But living in the hood, they didn't have to pay that much for rent. But it was real good family. And, man, we used to go on, trips and family.
Were you like a rambunctious kid? You get in trouble, or?
Oh, bro, we was always in trouble, man. And I'm not even the worst, bro. My brother was the worst, 6 years older, like I said. So he would get in fights, man. He would make me get in fights. Even at church, bro, he'd make me brawl with some dude in the back of a church, you know what I mean? And if not, I got beat up by him. I mean, it was just, we was always in trouble, man, always doing crazy things. Like kids are supposed to, man, outside setting off firecrackers and go-karts down the street, legs getting cut up, bloody, got to get stitches. I mean, it was just always, one thing or the next, just in a good way, man. So I had a good upbringing, man. And yeah, that's what it was.
What kind of church your parents have you in?
We was raised in Pentecostal Assembly of God bilingual church. So it was English and Spanish. Our senior pastor was Vicente Montaño, which is like a well-known singer. And I mean, this dude is crazy, bro. He was a good guy, man. And he would go and travel and sing. He was our head pastor. So it was a unique place where I grew up, and unique place where I went to church. Had a lot of close friends that I call family. And we were all raised in church, bro. And it was really dope, man. That church was pretty dynamic for back in the day. They did a crucifixion play. They were at the Fox Theater downtown San Diego. They traveled throughout the U.S., I think Canada too, to put on this, really crazy theatric play, man, for back in the day. So it was really cool, man. Really cool dynamics. And, a lot of people, man, for a smaller Hispanic church, you know what I'm saying? But
was that part of the thing that inspired you to do music? You think that kind of like the light bulb went off, like, hey, this is pretty interesting. Maybe I could do something.
It was just it was in our genes, bro. My dad was in a It was kind of like a Latin jazz band called Kadesh. It was a Christian band, and they would tour and they would travel. So us kids would always travel with them, and everybody else that was in the group, their kids. And man, it's really cool though, because a lot of the kids who would travel and their parents were in that band, they're pastors today, man. You know what I'm saying? Jiu-jitsu black belt instructors with one of the biggest schools in San Diego. I mean, just
Who's that? Because I do jujitsu. I teach jujitsu and do hip
uh,
hop. So who's
yeah,
this?
Elias Gallegos. I don't know if you heard of
Mm-mm.
Alliance
Mm.
and Chula Vista. He's got a couple of I don't even know what you call those, bro, but he's got a couple of those not
Academies or
dojos,
yeah, academies,
academies.
gyms. Like in jujitsu, like we'll just say gym or academy
Yeah,
or yeah.
yeah. And he started off with what is the big name in jiu-jitsu? The
Probably one of the
Gracies.
Gracies. Yeah.
So I know he was taught and schooled by I don't know which Gracie, but I love it, man. We wrestled at a young age, and we would always get into trouble, man. I was always at his crib. You know, not my crib because my parents were a little bit more strict. His parents were cooler, and they had a pool. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is people I call family today. You know, still my family, my cousins.
So are
They
you
have
are you
band.
doing any of the jujitsu yourself now or?
You know, not out here, but when I was in Dago, I would go to his spot in East Lake, Chula Vista,
Mhm.
and I would train, bro. And it was awesome, man. I had a great time there, and you know, everybody. It was funny though, because I would walk around and I'd see people like kind of like scared of me, which was kind of weird. Because I'm like, hey, I'm a new guy. Hey, man, I'm just trying to get back in shape. I'm trying to roll, trying to get this jitsu, you know, on and I figured it out is because I was related to Elias. And this is even before he even had his own academy. He was training, I think it was called Victory in Point Loma. And Dean, can't remember his last name. He's well
Lister,
known.
Dean
Dean
Lister.
Lister. I went to high school with that dude. We wrestled on the same team. And my cousin was coaching there. And people were like, "Oh, watch out! That's Elias' cousin," you know. And I was like, "Bro, it ain't even like that," you know what I mean? And I remember one time because me and my cousins, we always used to, you know, play King of the Mountain, you know, at the pool and just, you know, messing around and, you know, kind of like fighting and, you know, having great times and stuff. But, you know, he grew up to be this great instructor. And I was like, hey, man, let's see what you got, bro. And everybody kind of freaked out. I mean, like everybody came out the woodworks and stuff, and they all came upstairs, and it was like a big old spectacle. And I was just trying to have fun, you know. And um, so I took him down because I was like a wrestler, you know. I took him down, and he was on his back and stuff, and he was just real calm, you know. And I was just like trying to figure out how to get him in an arm bar, you know, and just do some type of lock.
You're
You know what I
making
mean,
mistakes. He's breathing and being nice and easy. You're making
dude?
mistakes.
Dude
Yeah.
making some serious mistakes, and this dude just real calm, just and he got my
Mhm.
arm in a lock, bro. And I was like, oh, hey, you know, and he's on the bottom, bro. And it was like some crazy wrist lock, and it was hilarious, bro. So it was short lived, you know, my little challenge to my cousin. So it was awesome, bro. But yeah,
Yeah,
man. So
man.
I haven't done it down here, but when I was up in Dago, I used to go do jujitsu religiously there. So yeah,
Try
man.
to find a spot out there, but let's go back a little bit um, before we get to your move from Southern California to Nebraska, which is a pretty big move. But so then take me back into how you got into hip hop. Tell me the story.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know, so growing up in church, they had a lot of great musicians at the church that I went to. It was called TDR, Temple de Refugio, so which is Temple of Refuge. And they had great musicians, bro. Like I said, and a lot of the musicians there were in this jazz Latin band with my dad and what I consider all my cousins and stuff. And I mean, they were just great, awesome musicians, bro. And that's what I grew up into. My dad played the percussions, he played the congas, the timbales, the bongos, you know, all that stuff. And so that's what I would mess with. And you know, of course, growing up in the hood in Dago, man, my brother he put me up on um, your hip hop, your reggae. Grew up on Eka Mouse, Special Ed, just Run DMC. And then my sisters, it was kind of weird. They like rock, bro. So I grew up listening to rock and alternative, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and, just crazy stuff, bro. So I listened pretty much to everything. And also with my dad in a band, I mean, just we were all about music, bro, musically inclined. And just to even see a lot of my cousins, the kids of the parents just excel in music as well. My other cousin, Danny Berrigan, he is a worship pastor for the Rock Church in San Diego, plays his drums. He's a phenomenal drummer. He's like one of the best drummers in San Diego. Not just saying that, like, if people know who he is, they know, like, oh yeah. He's part of a group called the Drum Matrix, which, bro, well known. Yeah, man. So it's really cool, man, just to see a lot of the people that I grew up with, man, have some serious roles in and out of the church, man, but they're doing great things and stuff. So that's what I grew up in. And my cousin too, Mikey, he started doing hip hop. And, I just loved hip hop, man. I would listen to a bunch of hip hop, bro. Just grew up on it, really dissect it. Grew up on NWA, so I had that gangster rap, bro. I had the reggae, I had that East Coast, conscious type of rap and stuff. And I just soaked it all in, man. So it wasn't just, hip hop. I mean, I had your salsa that I love, dude. You had Willie Colon. You had Tito Fuente. I mean, I grew up on Eddie Palmieri, all this type of music, man. I just soaked it all in. And so when I started to express hip hop, it was like poetry more like than hip hop. But of course it was for the Lord at a young age, man, when he just really got a hold of me. And I was like, man, I need to change my life, man. And I really need to just start
How old were you
right.
when God got a hold of you?
Bro, it was like 17. I mean, growing up in the church don't mean you're a Christian, and of course everybody knows that. But I mean, I just ran through the motions, growing up in church, and everybody knew I didn't want to be there. If I didn't want to be there, bro, I just told people. I was a pretty mean kid. I'd be like, man, I'm only here because I have to be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like you, like, and not to be rude, but I was just more of a real person. I wasn't going to play fake and be like, oh, I love God and I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's like, I'm here because my parents made me be here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, don't come over here. And
what was that like when God got a hold of you? Was it like at a church meeting, or where was it? Somewhere else? Or
it was believe it or not, it was a More Surreal conference. And man, I just remember, man, just going down the wrong side, bro, getting really heavily involved in gangs, and I was slanging weed and, just kind of heading in that direction, just love fighting, creating a buzz of who I was as a fighter. And people were, just going down the wrong road, man. And I remember always avoiding my dad because he just represented who God was. And, he came home, I wanted to leave. He left, I stayed home. It was just the opposite. And I remember they told me, my mom and dad were like, hey, we want you to go to this More Surreal conference. And I was like, I mean, dude, I had to go to church every Wednesday, every Friday, every Sunday morning, every Sunday night. And then sometimes for some prayer meetings. I mean, I was over it, bro. And my mom asked me, love my mom. So I was like, yeah, mom, I'll go for you, but I really don't want to go, but I'll go, And I had noticed my dad had dropped like a lot of weight, bro. He dropped like 40 pounds. And he was like super skinny. And I just told my mom, like, man, what's up with my dad, man? What's the deal? And she's just like, well, he's fasting. And, I'm like, for what? You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing that? And she's like, well, he's fasting for you. And I'm like, it just kind of hit me, bro. Like, dang, like this dude lost 40 pounds for me. Like, for what? You know what I mean? So I went to this More Surreal conference, and man, it was an eye opener for me, because you go to church and you just kind of become numb to the Spirit of God and the Holy Spirit working, you know, and you just kind of become numb to the Word of God itself. And, you know, you hear the pastor preach and, you know, give you a word and say, hey, man, God's got a plan for you. And God's got something lined up, especially for you. And, you know, me, I was a logical kid. I was like, bro, you get paid by the church to say nice things. Like, what pastor says bad things? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was just like, you say that to everybody. Like, no, I didn't tell him out of disrespect, but I'm thinking in my mind, like, I hear you say this. Like, this is what you get paid to say. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
no,
I really didn't. Yeah, I didn't take it for like face value, man. I didn't take it for what it was. I just kind of took it like, no, this is, you know, this is what you get paid to do. And out of respect, I always respected my elders and stuff. And so to go to this More Cirillo conference, and you know, they had teenagers and they had pastors and people and stuff like that. And they started speaking the word, and they had all the youth come up, and, you know, they wanted to pray for you and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, cool. I already knew the routine, bro. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and pray for me and just move on, you know? And this guy was praying for me, and then he just started like, oh, are you sick? And I thought, oh, I know where you're going with that. You're like, bro, I wrestle, homie. I run 3 to 5 miles a day. I don't eat tortillas. It's hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in shape, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sacrifice.
yeah, I was like, you going down the wrong rabbit hole, you know? And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not sick. You know, like, what's up? And he's just like, wow, feel your head. Like, you're burning. And literally, bro, like, I was shocked because I was like, dude, my head was on fire, bro. And it didn't make sense to me, you know. And he just started speaking some word of knowledge to me, bro, and started kicking some stuff that nobody would know. And it just, from right then, bro, it was like, whoa, like, this is real. Like, just because I grew up in church hearing, you know, the word and just kind of, whatever. Man, this was like a whole different eye-opening for me, where it was like, wow, I realized like how real God was and how dumb I had been, you know. And so that's when I made the choice. Like, man, I gotta change, bro. You know, I gotta get rid of some things and gotta move forward, bro. You know what I mean? So that's when I started to like pour out, bro, and just started writing, and it turned into poetry, kind of, and I just put it in God's hands. I was like, Lord, this is your gift. It's not mine. Like, it's not like, you know, I was a worldly rapper and got saved and then used my same skill set for God and just switched it up. You know what I mean? It wasn't a maze thing or something, you know? It was like a God thing. It was like nothing I had done before. So when it finally happened, I was like, man, this is you. Like, if this is you, you do it. Like, you open up the doors. It's not going to be me. It's going to be you. And, man, he just blessed me, bro. And no lie, my skill, my rhymes just grew like exponentially, like daily, bro. And I couldn't say because I was dope or, you know, because I practiced in the room or in my closet or something like that. Like, nah, this was like real, bro. And man, he just started opening up doors, man. And I started doing shows. I started going on little tours. And it wasn't even my tour. It was like someone else's tour. And I was just opening up.
Who
It
took
was,
you on tour for the first time?
dude.
Sackcloth?
No, bro, it wasn't even Sackcloth. It was some band. I can't even remember their name right now, but they would do a lot of DC talk.
Like they would cover?
Dude, they would do covers of DC talk, but these dudes were legit. They were good, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because, you know, I grew up musically inclined.
You didn't want to say. I love the way you like stopped and like didn't want to say like open for a band that was like, it wasn't even DC talk. They were covering DC talk. You know,
bro, they were covered, but dude, they were so good though, man. They had the lights, they had the fog machine, they had their speakers, they had the monitor, they had dancers.
They had figured out, yeah.
Bro, they were legit. So they toured, man, and they were good. Like, I never even listened to DC Talk. So when I heard them doing their, and they had live music, musicians, they were legit. I was like, wow, these guys are dope. Okay, cool. I see you. And I think they see me at one of the shows they did, and then they invited me out. And the next thing you know, I'm like opening up for them on tour, their tour. And it was just really cool, man. Just to see God open up doors like that, and then from there, started doing shows. And back then, man, I was a lot of freestyling. I was a big time freestyler, so I'd get in ciphers and just try to destroy people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's funny, man. I was just doing it for the love, bro. It wasn't about the name. It wasn't about like me. It was just really for the love of God and the gift that he gave me, man. And I just wanted to flex for him. And he was opening up doors, doing shows, man. I was, next I'm doing like youth camps and just doing a bunch of stuff, man. A lot of shows. And I did this show in Ocean Beach at a church, and I had Danny Berrigan, my cousin, on the drums, just killing it, bro. So we was doing some live stuff, and Mr. True came in from Sackcloth Fashion, and he came in, and after I finished my set, he did his set, so I checked it out. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. And it's funny because I heard of his name before, and he did a song with Frosty. You remember Frosty?
Yeah, I do.
Cool dude, man. Love that guy. And he did a song on Frosty's album, and I was like, whoa. And we started to talk, and we just knew a lot of people in the Christian industry back then, and we just connected. And his brother, Tim Trudeau, aka Some Rock Domes, did an instrumental on Dirt's album that had just came out. And I loved that beat. It was like real slow and emotional, just like real dope. And I was feeling that beat. So when I found out he did that beat, I was like, bro, this guy's dope, man. And like, let's hook up, man. Like, let's do some stuff, And sure enough, we started doing some stuff, started doing some shows. Went to Sir Rock's house and checked out the beats that he had. And I already had been working on 10 Horn Daggers. So I had like maybe like 40-50% of it already done, like recorded, like done. And I was super selective on songs. So I cut a bunch of stuff. But I just, just friends, man, just, making friends and homies and we'd hang out and just, it was real cool, bro. It wasn't like a business aspect, up front. It was just more friendship and just being who we were in Christ, man. And it was pretty dope, man. And I had been recording on my own with this dude, Glenn Taylor. He was actually the old school bass player for Champagne. So he was like a 70s rocker. And man, just experiencing the studio and recording and ADATs back then, and it was crazy, bro. It was really cool. And just linking up with Sackcloth Fashion, and then they started a record label, which was Syntax Records. And they wanted to put out a video and a song as the first representation for the record label, and which was Rising Suns. Did you ever see that video?
I'm sure I did back in the day. I saw everything they put out. So yeah.
Yeah, it was
Remind
me, Mr. True, and E-Rock. And we were in like this gutter old building, you know what I mean? And it was called Rising Suns. It was pretty cool, man. And so we did that song, and long story short, that song was supposed to have a different beat, but for some reason, the guy who did the beat, something happened. We couldn't get into his studio, and we were trying to hurry up and knock the song out because we were going to record the video for it. And I was like, hey, man, Sir Rock Domes' beats are fresh. Like, let's rock his beat, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just move on. This is God, homie. Like, let's do this. So sure enough, man, he started showing us some of his beats. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm feeling this, bro. And for Sir Rock Domes back then, it wasn't just like a regular, kick and snare. He would do like change in his pocket and record it and add it to the snare, like just crazy off the wall. Yeah, man, he was really unique, bro, real innovative, and I loved it. And long story short, we knocked out that track, that song to his instrumental, which I mean was pivotal, man. I mean that song went far. I think it was like on the top 20 Christian hip hop songs for 8 months straight. The video was like the same. I mean, they got a lot of of respect, and I mean, man, just a lot of play on that song, man. And it was an honor and privilege just to be on that, because back then I wasn't even signed to Syntax, bro. And you know, we finally sat down, and they were like, "Hey, man, like, let's put something out." And you know, of course, you know who POD is, and I had gotten a record deal from the record label that POD came off of, which was Rescue Records.
Yeah.
And good people. I love them people too, man. Just, man, good peoples, bro. And they offered me a record deal, and they have been putting out some good hip hop. You know, they put out the Urban Soldiers, they put out E-Rock, they put out Phonetic Composition, which was Freddie Bruno, Plato, which now is Crumb. I mean, dope people, bro. Good stuff, man.
That was that PC Tools record, wasn't it?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. What? That's what's up,
dude. I know, dude. Don't even try me, baby.
Right, dude. They're putting out some good stuff, man. They had that one cat. I think the title of his album was BPM or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Beats per minute. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think I had that back in the day.
Man, they were putting out really good stuff, bro. And so those were good cats, man. They're real tight. And I went home and I prayed about it, bro. I was super excited because I had goals for myself as a young artist, you know, and my dad, being in the music industry, obviously was schooling me, and I wanted to be on a record label, man, by the age of like 21. And so I was super excited about it, man. And I went home and I prayed about it, and I didn't have a peace about it. Not like a bad thing, but I just didn't have a peace. So I had to go back to Woovie, the drummer for POD, his dad, Noah Bernardo. And I had to tell him, like, hey, bro, I really appreciate the offer. You know, I love you guys and what you guys do. You know, unfortunately, you know, I just don't have a peace about it, bro, you know? And I think he just thought, like, oh, this dumb kid, he doesn't know, like, what we offered him. And he's just like, nah, bro, like, we're going to record your album and we're going to put it out in stores. And I was like, no, I get that. But, like, yeah, bro, I'm sorry, man. Like, he was confused. He was just like, he was looking at me like, he's comedy too. He's animated. He don't hold back. No, Bernardo does not hold back, bro. And he was just like looking at me like, what's wrong with you, bro? And I was just like, man, I'm sorry, bro. I still love you guys. Like, let's do stuff. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, and so after that didn't go through, and I think Syntax Records were just kind of leaving me alone because they didn't want to step on anybody's shoes, you know what I mean, by offering me a record deal with them, which, you know, shows that they have good character, man. And so finally, when everything, they seen I wasn't going to get signed to them, and, you know, just talking with them, you know, they said, hey, man, like, let's put out an album, bro, you know. And they offered me a record deal and stuff like that, and I felt a piece about that. I was like, yeah, man, like, let's do it. So that's how all of that started out, you know, before putting out albums through Syntax, man. Yeah.
Man, taking me down memory lane, dude. Bunch of that time in Christian hip hop was pretty amazing, don't you think? Or,
bro, if I would have known like how man, how awesome it really was back then, I think I would have paid more attention, bro, and you know what I mean? Spend a little bit more time, just even with people, bro. You know what I mean? Because I was real secluded back then, dude. Like, even when I think it was like my first song, bro, that ever came out on a project was an Urban Soldiers project. And it was with the dude from Boogie Monsters. So Boogie Monsters have dropped albums secularly.
Yeah.
You know, and we're in secular stores and stuff. So when they were
like
on
Vex
the Vortex, bro, super dope. Love this stuff, man.
Yeah, really dope.
And yeah, man. So I put my War Man song on the Urban Soldiers, and my song was right after his, bro. And I was like, dang, bro, why you guys gotta put me right there, dog? Like, you could put me somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Right. give me some room to breathe, bro.
Yeah, man, you can't put me after OG like that, you know? And but it did really good, man. Everybody was really feeling it, and I think it kind of, to compare an OG dude to some new kid, you know what I mean? They were like, "Whoa, like who's this dude? I never heard this dude. I heard this guy, he's dope, but who's this dude? I never heard this guy." So people were trying to look for me, bro. People were trying to find me. Seven Lock went on tour with Dirt, and he came back and he's like, "Bro, everybody's asking for you. Nobody knows who you are." And I was just kind of like, I was okay with it. But if I would have known, bro, what was happening then was monumental and that it would never be the same, I think that I would have done things a lot different, bro. And I felt then I was being secluded so that I wouldn't allow pride to get in the way. I wouldn't self-promote because I didn't want to be that guy that's self-promoting himself when it's not God. You know what I mean?
No,
so I was
I
like,
can relate.
Dude, I was like
yeah,
far left, bro.
Yeah.
But extreme. Now that I'm older and I understand, I'm like, dang, I was pretty dumb, bro. Like, there was something that was really good happening, and I really shut a lot of it down because I was trying not to be prideful, or
Oh no, I did the exact same thing. When I look back on my MCing career, it's like, there were a lot more doors that could have been open had I knocked, but I didn't quote unquote want to be in the flesh. You know what I mean? But
no, bro, seriously,
so I know
man.
exactly. But hindsight's 2020, and as grown men, if we only had the mindset we had now when we were 19, 20, 22 years old. So now take me back to what it was like being a part of Syntax during that period, during I guess what you would call their heyday.
Man, it was really cool, bro. Like I said, if I'd have known what I was a part of then, you know what I mean? Knowing now, man, I think I would have did things a lot different, but it was really cool, man. Mr. True, aka Max One, Ciroc Domes, I mean, good people, bro. And they were trying to do things, man. Ciroc Domes was trying to really accomplish some things. And being young and dumb, bro, you know what I mean? Sometimes, we get in the way. But back then, man, it was real cool. They always were doing innovative things, recording different artists, working for the future and stuff like that.
Now, name some of the artists that were on the label and maybe some that you had worked with at that time.
Of course, Red Cloud, bro. Red Cloud was one of the main artists, bro. And first time I met that guy was at a show that I did somewhere in LA, bro. Anything past not Anaheim, but pretty much anything past Anaheim, bro, is LA to me. Which, if you're from that area, bro, not everything's LA, bro. So I did some show out there, and he was cool, man. And I was kicking my stuff, and he was kicking his stuff, bro. And then we started freestyling. Got to the end, and bro, it was good, man. We were just, going toe to toe, bro, just killing some rhymes, and it was really dope, man. So really cool to meet that guy then, and instantaneously, man, felt like family to me. And before you know it, they signed him to the record label, and he had came down to Lemon Grove and was recording for Is This Thing On? And I shot through a few times while he was there, man, just to, show love and say what's up. And man, it was cool because, I'd go through, and if he wasn't recording or if we had a quick minute, we'd go down to the taco shop, bro, and we'd get some burritos, man. We'd kill some Mexican food, bro. That was always on the itinerary, man, killing some bomb Mexican food. And remember, I came through, man, and he was about to start recording what is it called? Kempo Strike?
Yeah, when Kempo Strikes.
Yeah. So
that's when the first time I really got hip to Red Cloud was that song, When Kempo Strikes. Yeah.
It was cool, man. And that dude he's really talented. And the way he was originally going to do that song was more kind of like chill on the hook. Cause you hear it and he's like, "This is Kempo Strike and Kia," right? That was all me, bro, cause that's my style, like all crazy, you know what I mean? So I heard it and I was like, "Bro, you should kick it like this, man." And I was like, showed him that more aggressive style. And if you listen to that track, you'll hear originally what he was gonna do, and then more of that what I was trying to have him do, which was more aggressive, and they just mixed the two and it came out perfect, bro. And he did that little bridge area where it's kumite. So that's me on the kumites. There's a couple of other tracks, bro. I'm like on the hooks, just adding to it and stuff, giving it more flavor. So it was really cool, man. Just being down there and being able to be a part of, these legendary albums, man, and just having a little piece of that, and experiencing it. And it was awesome, bro. So not just with him, they had different other artists that would come down, of course. Luke Garrity, he came down, bro. Same scenario. They had another dude, I think his name was Mick, and it was called Midnight Orchestra.
I do remember that. Yeah, Midnight Orchestra. I don't remember Mick, but I remember Midnight Orchestra. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Green Olive Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Green Olive?
Not
Tree?
Green Olive. No, don't remember that.
Bro, they're dope, homie.
Dope.
And yeah, they're a rock. Okay. And the main singer actually did the chorus on 10 Horn Daggers, self-titled 10 Horn Daggers.
Okay.
So he's from Green Olive Tree. He was down there, bro, and he kicked it while they were there. So I mean, it was just really cool, man. They recorded Phonetic Composition at the Syntax Studio, even though it came on Rescue Records.
Yeah.
Freddie Bruno and Crumb, bro. Those guys, bro, they're crazy, man. They would
Texas
get up
boys, right?
Texas boys, bro.
From the Dallas area, I believe.
I think so, bro. Crazy though. Love them dudes. And quick shout out to Crumb. Love that guy, bro. Freddie Bruno, love that guy.
Only him and Pigeon John have been on more hooks than anybody else, probably. I mean, there was a period where you picked up a record. It was singing the hook was either going to be Plato or Pigeon John.
Bro, I mean, who else wouldn't you want to do a hook? You know what I mean?
That's it. I might come do a hook or two and then let them do the rest.
Bro, I got to share a little piece of history too, man, because when I was a young kid, bro, coming out, and like I said, I would do a lot of shows, bro, and I did this show with Ill Harmonics. Mm-hmm. And that's Plato, and that was something night. No. It was Plato and another dude named McKnight or
yeah.
Some I can't remember.
I have it in the box somewhere here. But yeah, I used to jam that record.
Good. It's the first time I ever met them, bro. And I did a show with them out there in Dago somewhere. And I remember I was like, man, these guys are dope, bro. This is cool. And just got to really talk with them and stuff and build with them, you know what I mean? And over the years, man, I would see Plato at another show and he'd come through and, same scenario, man. That dude showed nothing but love, bro. Nothing but love, man. And just a young dude with no name, recording an album, bro. He blessed me with a couple of tracks to record to, and I'll never forget that, bro. Like I tell my wife today, I'm like, because we listen to Pigeon John, we listen to Crumb, we listen to everybody, bro. You know what I mean? So for me to tell her, like, hey, when I was nobody, this dude right here hooked it up with some dope beats, and it was not like he was trying to slang or like, hey, I'm gonna take advantage of this young dude. No, it was called love, and he sowed into my ministry. So I have nothing but love and respect for that dude. He did the beat for Warman. He did the beat for Alone. He did
that kind of Gregorian chant kind of.
Bro, that old school underground dark melodic stuff, bro. He was the mastermind behind them beats. Yeah. Freddie Bruno did production for Deep, that symphony. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows these things, bro. You know what I mean? And these are vets that sold into my ministry back then, bro. And I appreciate that because you hardly see that nowadays, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's so changed. It's like if I was coming up today, it seems like everybody's just giving you a beat, or come work with me, and everybody's producing. And it was, if you weren't a producer, if you were just an MC and a dope MC, getting dope beats was a whole was a whole deal. It was a big deal. It was hard to do, and then finding somebody you can connect with and collab with and build with,
Right.
it's almost
Right.
impossible. So the fact that you were there with a lot of what I would call like legends and like Christian hip hop. Some people don't want to call it Christian hip hop or whatever you want to call it. Um,
Right.
you truly are blessed, man.
Yes, bro. I agree, man. And like you said, nowadays it's a different game. Uh, man, it's just I don't like it, bro. To be honest, man. I tried building with a couple of cats. They were coming up, and I just felt it was all business. And one dude was trying to get in on me, bro. Like, well, what do you expect? And blah blah blah. And I was just like, I mean, bro, if you're trying to build with somebody, it's not just cool. How much for this beat? Or give me this amount for that. I mean,
It's all
I get
transactional, It's
like I get that that's normal. I get that, but I was saying, bro, it should be different from trying to build with somebody. Like, yeah, obviously, that may come, when you've built with somebody and you see what kind of person they are, and what who they are, and if you want to work with that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't go grab people's beats just because I think they're fresh. Because if they're an idiot, I'm not gonna rap on their beats, bro. Because
yeah,
there's a lot of good, humble dudes out there that are super fresh that I'd rather be on their track than someone else. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny, bro, because yeah, we kind of got into it, and even a couple of dudes that I know hit me up like, "Yo, man, why you even wasting your time getting into it?" And I was just like, "Man, because it's different, bro, and it's not the same." I felt like a lot of integrity that we should have as ambassadors of Christian hip hop, bro, no longer exist. It's pretty much just transactional, secular. Give me the money. This is the cost. Like, has no interest of building, has no interest of pouring into or receive. I mean, we're supposed to be the body of Christ, and if you read the Word of God, it says that no member is more important than any other member. As a matter of fact, if you're the thumb, I'm the foot. Like, bro, we can't function without each other. And it's like, unfortunately for Christian hip hop today, music wise, I don't think it really functions like that, bro.
Now, do
You
you
know?
think that's in part because of now it's big business? When you and I started, not only was it no business, you had to defend the fact that you were into it. You had defended against your parents, against your pastors. Everyone was against it. Maybe that was part of the reason we did it, that
Right.
little rebellious nature. But if you were in it and you got dope, you already had some war scars on you just to get dope. Now it seems like you're in a room with a laptop computer making a beat, say something not that dope, and all your friends and family are going to applaud you for it.
Yeah, it's definitely different, bro. I mean, it's a different beast. It's not about moving units. It's not about how many albums you sell. I mean, now it's streams, and you can pay for streams, and nobody knows. I mean, bro, you could be some dude in the closet that's never stepped out of your house and be some, I got over 500,000 views and streams, and I got a plaque, and no one knows who you are.
You never rocked
Like,
the show.
never rocked the show, don't know how to have cadence, don't know how to have crowd control, and not that that's like the most important thing. I mean, I think the most important thing is who we are and how we represent God through our talents and gifts, bro. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you can be the dopest MC, but if you're a freaking jerkhole, ain't nobody want to talk to you, bro. Like, you're really gonna have a good impression on somebody who's a Christian or not a Christian, and when you're supposed to be a representation of God, like, it's just a different game now, bro. And I just really feel like it's just egos, man, and just, to me, it's like they're focused on the wrong thing, bro. And this is my opinion, and what I'm saying doesn't mean that it's gospel. It's just my opinion, and it's definitely different from back in the day, man. And which really even makes me miss back in the day more. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, it's unfortunate, bro. It really is. Um, and I really even stepped away from Christian hip hop, bro. Like what they consider Christian hip hop. And I think I'll surface like every 4 years, and I'll go to the Christian websites and listen to who's getting played, and then I'll submerge underwater again for another 4 years because I'm like, oh, garbage.
The hip hop vampire, he goes back to sleep.
I go back to, I'm like, I'm gonna go and retire for 4 years more. I'm like, dude, it's bad, bro. It really is, because we're supposed to be something that's different, bro. We're supposed to have flavor. We're salt to the earth. It doesn't say that to become the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we're supposed to be something that is different. We're the ones that are supposed to have the love of God in us, and if we're representations of God, we don't need to rely on other people's styles, the lost styles, the secular styles, and wordplay, and the little woo, woo in the back, and like all these weird things, bro. Yeah, bro. It's a trip, bro, because I'm just like, I can't even speak when it comes to it, because I'm like, dang, bro, like what happened? Like growing up when I was young, you would have different groups come out, and I'm not even talking about Christian, I'm talking about secular.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to sound the same.
Everybody was trying to be an individual. Everybody was trying to stand out.
Bro,
your
style
is distinct. You know what I mean? So,
dude, even all of Wu-Tang, even though they're like underground East Coast slum, like none of them were the same. They all had their different style. They were all unique, bro. Leaders, was it Leaders of the Underground, or what is it called? The one that Busta Rhymes.
Leaders of New
School. Boom.
Flow and us.
Bro, everybody, different style. You enjoy. What is that other one? The Underground.
Underground Kings. UGK.
No, the one with Humpty Hump. What was there?
Oh, Digital Underground.
Digital Underground. Like, hey, I like that rapper because he's dope. I like his little stilo and his style. I mean, bro, everybody was different. Nobody just came out sounding like each other, because then you just be regurgitated crap.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like that's what I really feel is out there, bro. It's a regurgitated crap of the world, but yet we're just putting Christ in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. There's a Christian, I guess a Christian youth station here. They play rock and hip hop, and I've tried to listen to it a few times, but it really is whatever's popular. If Black Eyed Peas are popular, bam, here's a Christian version of the Black Eyed Peas. If this whatever's popular, here's a Christian version of that. And I listen to it, and it's not worth my time. Maybe it does minister to some people, but for me, the entry point for me in hip hop is dopeness. You've got to be dope for me to like give you that ear. You know what I mean? But
maybe I'm like a little harsh, but I think you're right, man. Like that may minister to somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody who's not looking for it and is out in the club and accidentally bumps into some Christian form of hip hop, that sounds like what they normally do. I don't know. It may.
I don't know.
And I'm not.
I don't know either. Yeah. Maybe I don't know. We're being positive, everybody.
I'm trying to be positive here, bro. You know what I mean? But I do know that not everybody's cup of tea is gonna go and really encourage somebody in the world. Everybody's different, and we're all unique for a reason. Like I totally get it, but I just think that we got to be unique in our own like who we are. Like use the beats that they're using out there, that type of vibe or whatever. But like styles, that's completely different. When you're biting somebody else's style and backgrounds, like that's just something different, bro. So yeah, man, I think a lot of that is just kind of turned over also into the producers, the other MCs. It's just this mentality of, what can I get? How much can I get paid? I'm somebody.
Yeah.
I have this many streams. I have this many plays. Like, that's sad, bro. Because that's, that's who, bro. I even bumped into these Christian sites and they're charging people to play their music. I'm like, whoa, you guys. I was like, I must have been under the water for a long time, because I realized they weren't the only website charging for people to play their beats and then get critiqued. Like, there's a few people that do that. And I'm like, where have I been? Oh, dang, I've been submerged underwater for years. And I was like, this is weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: since you know, since the heyday of Syntax Record and everything you've done, um, you've moved away from San Diego. What brought you to Nebraska, and what do you have going on now?
Man, I love San Diego, bro. It's a good place. I mean, real awesome. Good food, good people, man. Authentic. And but as far as being a dad, a husband, spiritual leader of my family, I have to do what's best for my family, not just physically, mentally, bro, financially, but also spiritually. And I've watched my daughter go through the city schools in San Diego, bro, and I just seen every year it got worse, every year. And not that she didn't have good times. I mean, she was on, one of the new stations because she was an awesome softball player. You know, she played sports, and my son started to go through the city schools too. Junior high, and man, it just every year, bro, it just got worse, man. It really did. Where it's affecting your children, man, and you're gonna have to, decide like what's more important. How your children are influenced, from sex and drugs and partying, their moral values. Like, and it's hard to be a Christian in public schools nowadays, but where it's like, whoa, I mean, bro, it's bad. Like, it's really bad. I'm like, nah, this is not good. And the other thing too is I just felt in my spirit, man, it was like not a good place to be anymore, for my family. Cause back then, dude, there was a couple of times the power went out for a few hours and I watched people just wild out, bro. I mean, bro, it almost looked like it was going to be the Walking Dead wilding out, bro. Just because people lost power for a few hours. And I was like, bro, this place right here, this place is going to get crazy, bro. Like, if something pops off, it's going to be bad. And
You,
I
you
just
got
felt,
out before the shutdown even happened.
bro, I got out before the shutdown, bro. I already felt it in my spirit. I was like, we got to go. And, and the other thing too is out there. I mean, most people can't afford homes, and if you could, you're playing Russian roulette with your life and with your family's life. Because, I mean, I worked for the Department of Defense when I was in San Diego. My wife had a good job, so between our two incomes, we could have purchased a house for $400,000. What does that get you nowadays?
Not
Absolutely,
yeah. And see, well, let me be specific because a lot of my viewers, I'm from Houston. 400,000 in a home out here, you're living like a king. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man.
But I also lived in San Gabriel Valley, West Covina. Um, I got family in Torrance and
Yeah,
Hawthorne and all that stuff. Um, four hundred
yeah. You
thousand gets you a shack and no property in
in
Southern
the ghetto.
California. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get you a fixer upper in the ghetto. That's what it got you. Fixer upper in the ghetto. And I mean, and you're paying your mortgage would be outrageous where you're like, dang, like, okay, cool. I got my car payments, got my credit cards, I gotta pay my utilities, gotta pay this, gotta pay that, or insurance for the kids. And then you start doing all your math and then you realize like, man, I mean, yeah, I think I could make it work. But you get sick, you have to get surgery, you get in the hospital, your job
Paycheck to
lets you go.
paycheck. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, who wants to gamble like that for 30 years?
Yeah. And then how do you take your family on a vacation and all that good stuff? You know what I mean?
You won't. Your tires get flat, and hey, something's gonna have to give. Man, it's just a bad situation. And where I was in life, I was like, man, I'm trying to do something good for my family, and not even my kids, but my grandkids one day. Like, I want to leave a legacy for them. I don't want them to know what it is to live paycheck by paycheck and not even a house to call your own because it's not yours. Like, you're gonna rent till you retire, and then what? Like, what are you leaving for your kid? Absolutely nothing. Here, you guys got to fend for yourself too now because you can't afford a house here in SoCal either. Like, I was like, nah, bro. So I just really prayed about it, and I know some people out here in Nebraska, And I just came out here to do a show, relax, because out here it's a different pace, man. Just, I brought my wife out, bro, and introduced her to a lot of my peeps out here, and we were just kicking it. And I just was like, man, I wonder how much houses out here go. I just thought one day when I retire, man, I'll retire out here, And bro, I went to go look at this house. It was like a 2-story house, like a 3-bedroom. It was nothing crazy. It was, it had a half basement, detached garage. I was like, all right, bro. They wanted $77,000.
I'm moving to Nebraska, everybody.
I was like, bro, I started looking around. I was like, is this on a fault line? Like, what's the deal? You know what I'm saying?
Was there a triple homicide in this house? Or
yeah, was there mass murder? Like, what's the deal? And I called my boy out here, and I was like, hey, bro, I just came to look at this house, and they want like 77 grand for it, bro. Like, why? What's the deal? And he's like, oh, well, where you at? And I told him, I'm like, I'm over here by East O. Okay. Oh, yes, because you're in the hood. You're in the hood, bro. You're in the bad neighborhood. And I was like, I looked across the street, 2-story house, a dude outside, like shining his Corvette. No lie, like a legit Corvette. And I was like, nah, this ain't hood. Like, we ain't in the hood, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And it was
funny because I
bro.
recently had the same experience, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I was just mind boggled, bro. So I was like, you know what? let me look, bro. Let me just look out here. You never know what God's gonna do. Long story short, man, I found a house. It was a 2-story house with a full basement. It has like 7 rooms, detached garage, large property, bro. Old school, all wood floors, bro. I mean, place is dope. I fell in love with it, bro. I was like, all right, let's pray about this. So me and my wife, we went back home. I was like, hey, we're gonna have to pray about this because it's a big move. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of things that needed to happen that weren't going to happen on the norm. Like, this guy wanted to sell this house. We were already approved for living out there, but when you relocate your new job, it's going to be a different income and so on and so forth. You got to get reestablished. So I had to explain it to him, like, hey, man, I'm going to have to get reestablished. I know you're trying to sell it. Will you be interested in just renting it till I could get reestablished, and then I'll buy it from you? And I thought, man, this guy's never met me. He lives out of state. He ain't gonna rent to nobody from California, bro. Come on, man. Popo pulls you over, they see California plates, they already got the hand on the gun, bro. Let alone let somebody you never met move into your house, bro. You know what I mean? And so we had to pray about that, man. I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff, man. And before you knew it, God just started orchestrating everything, man. Started opening up all the doors. The gentleman that owned the house, man, said he was gonna talk with his wife, and got back to me. He says, yeah, man, we can do that. I mean, dude, it was the transition was so smooth. It was only God. It wasn't, by luck or by chance, man. And he opened up the doors for us to be out here. And yeah, we purchased our first home ever, bro. And it's this house. Freaking love this house, man. And so we just
congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I didn't believe it for the first few months. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, there's no way. The bank messed up, bro. You know what I mean?
I know.
They can come take our house. Nah, man, we own this house, bro. And we're trying to do investments, and we're trying to do things out here, man, not just for us, but for our children and our grandchildren, man. And that's something that you can't do out in big cities like that, man, where you're living paycheck to paycheck. And out here, man, I got put up on game. Like, wealth does not mean that you're rich. Like, wealth out here means that you're good and you're taken care of, bro, and you're not living paycheck to paycheck, and you're gonna leave a legacy for your kids.
Yeah.
When first job I got out here, I worked for selling cars, and this young couple came in, bro. They were probably like, late 20s, early 30s, and they said, hey, I got this truck. I want to get a used SUV. And I'm like, why? That's a brand new truck, bro. Like, what's up? Oh, well, we just want to lower our payments. We don't need that, SUV used, this many miles this year, will work for us. We want to lower our payment because we're going to buy our second house. I was like, what? Yeah, man. So people out here, they're not just buying one house. Like, they're buying 2 houses, bro. Like,
yeah.
And they're not out there in a Benz. No, they're out there in a used SUV. You know, they're trying to be smart. You know what I'm saying?
A little
Like,
different than growing up in the hood.
little different.
Everybody that's broke always has the nicest clothes, $300 shoes, gold everywhere.
Bro, big old Lexus slam on some nice wheels, bro, and got TVs. I'm like, bro,
At an
your
apartment,
car
parking it at an apartment, you're sharing with your mom.
straight up, bro. You know what I mean? Hey,
Oh, I know.
but you rolling, baby. You rolling.
They gonna see me. Yeah, we're gonna see you.
We're
But
gonna see you.
let me ask you this. So in my opinion, you've had a storied career. I mean, you've done a lot. You were there, like I said, in the heyday of Christian emceeing and really one of the you're one of the bricks in the foundation of what Christian hip hop is today. What's next for Man of War musically?
Musically, bro, I'm just gonna put out some good music, bro. And it's there's no grand scheme of agenda behind the music. It's just who I've been, man, as a Christian hip hop artist that loves God and loves what I do. Um, I've kind of just been away from everybody, man. Like I said, I go submerge myself and I stay away from everybody, bro. And so I got an album that it's been done for years. Got videos for it, you know, that's been done for almost years. And I got like probably 5 or 7 albums ready to go. And I got a lot of other artists as well ready to go. And so it's time, bro. It's time to put out some music, bro. And I hope that it blesses people, you know. And it's not out there to make a name for myself, or it's not out there to hey, how many streams I had this year or some crap like that. Like I could care less about that stuff, bro. I'm not trying to. I love Plato's lyrics too, bro, and Pigeon, bro, because they say, man, if it was about making money, I'd have quit a long time ago. Like that's not what it's about, bro. I'm just hoping that people are blessed, man, and are encouraged, you know, through the gift that God has blessed me with. So excited to start releasing some stuff, bro.
Are you gonna release that under War Records?
Yep. It'll be under War Records, man. And you know, if some big label or bigger label came by and said, "Hey, man, we want to invest in you and we want to do something," I'd be open to it, bro. You know, War Records is just a medium for me to put out good music and not worry about weird label things. You know, because I know a lot has changed over the years. You know, back then it used to be about points. You know, how many points did you get per unit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different game, bro. We ain't got Sam Goodies and Tower Records and you know, the warehouse. We ain't got that no more, bro. You know what I mean? It's all digital. Totally get it. So it's a different beast. But you know, it's not about all that business aspect, man. It's really about pushing the kingdom of God, bro, forward. And you know, I hope that there's people out there that still enjoy the type of music that I do, because I still enjoy a lot of the people that I listen to that do similar type of music. So yeah, man.
So what's your advice you'd give to young MCs coming in the game today, or just maybe people that like hip hop? What advice would you like to bestow upon them?
I would say, you know, man, be true to yourself. Don't allow yourself to be caught up in the hype. Um, you know, there's a lot of hype out there, you know. I've done a lot of features, and even some of the features that I've been on, you know, they'll get it played like on these stations that I told you. They get paid to play it for them, you know, and then next thing you know, the guy who's critiquing them is hitting them up on the side like, yo, I want to redo this one for you. And it's a grand scheme of redoing a song because it has potential, but yet they want to get paid to help it go a little further. I don't know, bro. To me, that just seems like that's just more than what it really is, you know? Hey, man, if you enjoy putting music out, put your music out, you know? Reach out, you know? Pray. Let God lead and guide you, you know? And he'll open up those doors that need to be opened that no man can open for you. Should you be smart and try to, you know, promote yourself? Yeah. Should you be smart and try to connect? Yeah. Is that the sole purpose of what we should be doing? No. You know, we're the body of Christ, man. So encourage people, man. It's not about just what you can receive, but also what you can give. Sow into somebody, man. You know what I mean? That's what the advice that I would give them. I mean, because that's part of our ministry, man, is to also sow into other people, help them grow, bro. You know what I'm saying? Disciple somebody. So that's just kind of what I've done with a lot of cats too that are on the label, is just sowing into their ministry musically, and whatever else I could offer to them, bro. And so that's what I would suggest, So
Where can people connect with you?
Man, they get at me at Instagram, bro, or Facebook, just Man of War 1, you know what I'm saying? It's real simple right now. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to help anybody out. But you know what's cool, bro? This comp that I just came on, what is it called? I can't remember the name right now. Behind Enemy Lines, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I believe
There's a song, dude, from one of the old school cats, bro. And he actually talks about the mantle being passed on to the new generation and how it's not passed on. And I was like, dang, that's kind of true. Like there's a gap there. You know what I mean? And I mean, a lot of that needs to get passed down, bro. And not saying that like, I'm, some old school crazy, self-proclaimed apostolic, someone of God, and I'm gonna bestow on you. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. But it's true. Like, man, there's been a gap that's been missed between some of the vets of Christian hip hop and these new guys of Christian hip hop, man. And a lot of those important things haven't been passed on, bro. I feel, and it needs to. You know what I'm saying? Because we're getting old, homie. Like, we can't kick this forever. But there's got to be a point in time where we can pour into somebody else, man, and know that they're going to carry that mantle on with integrity. You know what I'm saying? So with the excellence, So yeah, it's good.
I want to thank you for your time today, man, and let's stay connected or hook up sometime, man.
For sure, bro. I'm down, man, and I still owe you a verse, right?
Sure. Was that supposed to happen? If that was supposed to happen, let's do it.
I think I owe you a verse, bro.
Okay. You heard it, everybody. You heard it. He owes me a verse.
Yeah, man, I owe you a verse, bro, because it's funny. You sent me a track, and it was heat, bro.
Was it?
Yeah, man, it was good, bro. It was like straight heat, man. I was like, oh, man, this one's good. I was like, how should I attack this one, man? And I never attacked it. So I was like, I owe this dude a verse, bro.
Well, let me know. I'll have to look up in the archives, or we'll get something new, man. Let's hook it up and let's drop something.
Dude, send it through, bro. I'll bless it for you, bro. No problem, man. Also, that album I was telling you about, I did a song, man, and I'm really proud of it. It's about the crucifixion of Jesus and pretty much what he went through the last week of his life up to dying for us, bro. It was hard for me to write, man, because I wanted to come with it lyrically, some lyrical cadence and some content, but at the same time not lose, what really happened and what the events that happened, and not get lost in just lyricism. You know what I'm saying? So it's really cool, man. I've been getting a lot of good feedback already from it. People just saying, man, like they'll never look at the crucifixion of Christ the same. And I was like, wow, that's awesome, bro. And that's what I really wanted to do. It took me a while to write it, which I really don't take a lot of time when I write. I just write and knock it out. This one I had to, man. And it was difficult to really understand all of the pain and what Jesus did for us, bro. So it's on that album that I shared with you. It's titled Bang Bang. So if you guys go check it out, man, I appreciate it. Yeah.
I believe it's available on Spotify because I believe I was listening to it today, actually. Nice little sample on there as well. So
yeah, brother. It's on all digital platforms, yeah.
Yeah. So check that out, everybody. Man of War, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Mad shout out to Man of War, all the way from Nebraska. I want to thank him one more time for sharing his life and his journey with us today. His links are in the description. And don't forget to check out my new project, The Gentleman's Guild. I'm making a graphic novel with artist Ebi Canales. Yes, the Ebi Canalis is doing the art on my new graphic novel, The Gentleman's Guild. The link for that is also in the description. And don't forget to watch Lion Killer, my debut feature film. That's right, I made a movie. It's called Lion Killer. It stars Regina Ting-Chen, who's currently on season 4 of Stranger Things. You can watch it at Amazon Prime, Tubi TV, Freevee, the Roku channel, or you can pop on over to the YouTube channel called V Movies. And thanks for watching this episode of FURYCAST. And before you go, make sure you like this video, comment down below, or just simply leave a pound FURYCAST. Let me know you checked out the video. You can also hit the subscribe button and yes, smash that bell for notifications. That's all for today's show. Until next time. Peace.